Hello, and welcome to the Remo show. I'm not sure where you're streaming from, if you're on YouTube, if you're on Instagram, Twitter, or whatever the case may be, but I appreciate you guys tuning in today. I got a lot of show today for you, and before I start, I just want to ask you a question.
What is it, the Braids? What is it,
Thank
the
you.
Braids?
That's what I want to know. Is it the braids?
Is it the Braids?
Is it the braids? Is it the braids? We're going to get started. We're going to get into our rich people problems. So just don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. And today, ladies and gentlemen, our rich people problems come from Los Angeles and Toronto. As we all know, Kendrick Lamar, he released 616 in Los Angeles this morning. Another diss shot at Drake after dropping Euphoria, which almost, I'm saying it, I think Euphoria was one of those records that you literally have to break down. Like, I had to go to Genius after listening to it 10, 11, 12 times, because I mean, when Kendrick Lamar took that boy apart, I mean, he was picking apart the carcasses, taking bones out, just tastes good, throwing the bones in a little pile somewhere. I mean, the man did not miss with Euphoria. I mean, if I was Drake, I wouldn't respond. Me and my best friend Lo, we were talking about it, and I don't think Drake should respond. But I hope so. The hip hop in me hopes Drake's response. Because he was hitting him hard below the belt, calling him out about his biracialness. He was calling him out about his everything. I mean, everything was just terrible. Called him he called him half white. He told him he was a bad daddy. And then it's so crazy because 616 in Los Angeles, right? Do you know what date 616 is? It's June 16th. Do you know what's on June 16th this year? Father's Day. You also know 616 is also Pac's birthday. And he mentioned a line on there and said he'll be damned if some Canadian rapper makes Tupac rolling around in his grave. So I'm sitting here on some, you know what? I'm ready for all the smoke. There's a lot of people who sit there around and say, "Oh, Drake won this battle because his record is played in the clubs," and no one cares. I don't care. I'm a lyrical rapper. I like lyrical. I like lyricism. This battle was probably perfectly for J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar. I do not believe Drake should have even responded. Drake shouldn't even been in this battle. This was a J. Cole and Kendrick battle would have been so much better because the Canadian decided to throw his lines in. I think I don't think we're gonna get the same Drake anymore. Drake has to rap from now on. He can't do no more pop records. He can't do no more pop records after calling Kendrick Lamar whatever he was saying. Oh, you did this record. You did this record with Imagine Dragons. You did this record with Taylor Swift, and it's even doper. 6x6. I mean 616 in Los Angeles. Guess who it was produced by? Taylor Swift's producer. So at the end of the day, I think Kendrick Lamar is being way more meticulous than this. Drake is just posting memes at this point. Drake is just posting memes, continuously posting memes, and I don't get it. I don't get why he thinks this is the way out. Why he thinks this is the answer to his problems, because I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Everybody's waiting for the Joe Budden podcast to drop because they're saying at the end of the Joe Budden podcast, Drake is going to drop a record. Now I'm sitting here and I'm like, I'm looking forward to it, Drizzy. I'm looking forward to you dropping something because you have to drop something. You kept counting down days, you and your boy Academics, and Academics is a weirdo too. But you know, everybody loves him some Academics. But at the same time, uh I don't think Drake has a real response to this. I mean, all he's going to do is probably shoot back at the fact that Kendrick Lamar said he wasn't this, wasn't that. It might bring up some facts about when Kendrick Lamar admitted cheating on his wife. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's stuff that he brought up. He Eminem himself, technically, 8 Mouth himself. He went to the battle and just said, you know, this is who I am. This is what I do. But what is Drake going to do? What is Drake going to do? I mean, after Euphoria, I didn't even think Drake had a way to respond. Let's be honest about it. I don't think Drake had a real way to respond after Euphoria, but you know, he kept coming and he came back with that tailor-made freestyle. Now, that record, I think it was very creative. And that's what I feel like he has to come back with. He can't come back with no hard diss record talking about he gonna shoot Kendrick or he gonna come to LA with his goons, because we know that's not gonna happen. We know he ain't showing up in no LA acting tough, doing none of that shit. But Crody, I just want to ask you one question. One question. Why do you hate that man, Kendrick?
What is it? The braids?
Is it? I think that was the most funniest line on that. The way, listen to the inflection in it.
What is it? The braids?
Like he's just asking, like, my man, what is it? Is it the braids that got you hating me? We don't know reality. Is that why you ain't got braids too? I think it was a great record. Euphoria was a great diss record. The 616 in Los Angeles didn't get the same hype as Euphoria, but the fact that even Euphoria first episode dropped when June 16th makes it even a better record. Al Green sample makes it even better record. I mean, he was really you know what? Let's pull up the Genius. Let's pull up the Genius. Okay, because we gotta we gotta break some of this down. Like when he said the Off-White Sunseeker line, like he started it. He said he's coming at him hard with that on the, because we already know like Drake is a big fan of Virgil Abloh, who passed away, rest in peace. But like, come on, Drake, are you kidding me? Like, what are you gonna say to that? What are you gonna say to that? Then he had this other line where he said, 3 angels watching me all the time. I put my children to sleep with a prayer, then close my eyes. Definition of peace. Tell me who gonna stop me. I come from love. Estelle cover my heart, then open me up. Remember when Remember when Picked Up a Pen, lyrics that I can trust, timid soul, stare in the mirror, asking where I was from. Like literally, like that bar is so crazy because being in LA, you get asked where you from multiple times a week. Hey, where you from? Where your mama stay? You know what I'm saying? And it's stuff like that Drake can't come back and be like, oh yeah, please save me. You know what I'm saying? Drake is finished. I think even the sense of Drake as we know him is finished because he has to respond and literally get rid of Kendrick Lamar. He can't respond halfly and not give everything that he deserves. So before we move on, I just want to let you know Drake's down 0-2 right now. Um, Drake's down 0-2 right now. Could be 3-0 at this point because Like That was crazy. Drake responded to Like That with push-ups. And Like That is still a better record than push-ups, in my opinion. I don't know who, whatever's whatever. And then he had the Taylor Made freestyle, okay? I think Euphoria is better than that. And right now he dropped 616 in Los Angeles. Drake, I'm gonna need a timestamp. Your timestamp records are the best ones. If you don't come with a timestamp, I'm not gonna believe it's real. I'm not gonna believe it's right. I think you're gonna do it. But we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Before I move on, I just want to ask one more question.
What is it? The Braids?
All right. With that being said, we're gonna get into humans in the wild. You already know. Hold on. This one's gonna be crazy. Y'all gonna be like, what? But this one isn't really uh this one right here isn't really what you would call it. This is called Karens in the Wild on this one because of course the white people going white. So here we go. We're gonna watch this video right here. You let me know what you think. Don't make sure you subscribe, comment, and like at the bottom. Let me know what you think.
Hey guys, I'm not trying to open up your door, dude. I'm just at your door.
Okay, how can I help you?
You guys are screaming so loud, the whole neighborhood, 911. The cops are about to call, and I don't want to do that.
I don't give a fuck. Is that our house, lady? Don't you dare come to my house. Go on and get on.
No. I'm not trying to be that.
No. What you doing over here? No. Don't touch my door.
Sweetie, look at me.
I don't care. What is y'all doing over here? We is in our home that we own, and my family is having a good time. What the hell you doing at my door? You get your drunk ass away from my door. Yes, you.
Hold on. Okay. I'm a criminal defense attorney.
I don't give a fuck who you is. You slurring like that, you ain't not a criminal offense attorney.
Do your job.
Go ahead.
Go on the police force.
But why are you calling the police
anyway?
Huh? Why she talking about
Here.
Because you're
walking by.
It doesn't matter. We're not.
Hey. Hold on. Mario.
You even got the granny coming out. You even got the granny coming out on her walker ready to get in. That's wild. That was wild. They is turned up.
The problem is that you're drunk. No, you walk off with her.
You get on too. No, you can't. You on my property. Go her.
We're not out here doing anything.
No, take your code 45 and get the fuck on the property.
She said, "Take her coat 45 and get." Well, fortunately, that didn't come to blows because I thought it was going to come to blows at one point. I'm not even going to sit here and lie to you. I just knew that situation was going to come to blows. People were going to scrap it out. But fortunately enough, that didn't happen. But the Karens in the world really need to figure their life out. How do you go to someone else's house? I mean, slurring, pissy, drunk, trying to tell someone else that they cannot be loud in their own home. It's wild. It's wild. Karens need to literally calm it down because they are doing entirely too much. But since we here, right? Since we here, we gonna move on. Cause I mean, ain't no need to stick on the camera. We already know that video. Shout out to TikTok. We seen that video like 20 times since the pandemic, over and over. It's the same thing. But literally, she should have got jabbed in the mouth. That's just my opinion. But we're gonna get into some news topics right here. And this one is a very important one for you, the marijuana smokers out there in the world. I think we're finally coming towards some legalization. So make sure you lock in right here. But I'm going to tell you the news because you niggas do not read. All right. With that being said, Merrick Garland, recommends changes to marijuana laws. Now, I'm not sure if you 420 friendly out there, but if you are 420 friendly, I'm just here to let you know it's a possibility that we ain't going to jail no more for marijuana. If anybody like myself has ever been put in cuffs over some marijuana, you realize that was some BS. All the people that's in jail right now doing too much time over marijuana. That's dubbed. That's dubbed. But the Department of Health and Human Services announced at 4:20 p.m. one day last year that it was moving forward with a plan to reschedule the drug. President Biden and Vice President Harris each tweeted at 4:20 p.m. on April 20th of this year that they supported reducing criminal penalties for pot users. Now, Attorney General Merrick Garland's announcement Tuesday that he was rescheduling marijuana under federal law, that was just the latest turn in what Biden's advisors see as a key political strategy, right? Along with issues such as student loan relief and climate policy. Trying to get the votes. I'm not even mad at him. He's trying to get the votes. But when Biden's White House social media account blasted out the highlights from this year's State of the Union address, that the Twitter post quoting his promise to not jail marijuana users got more likes than the ones on gun safety, the climate crisis, and billionaire taxes. All this was reported by Michael Shearer, David Ovell, Tyler Pager, and Finit Nirapel for the Washington Post on May 1st. Now, I'm happy. A lot of my friends went to jail for marijuana. A lot of my friends went to jail for marijuana. Whether selling it, whether smoking it, whether having possession of it, it doesn't matter. A lot of my friends went to jail for marijuana, and marijuana is not one of those drugs that needs to be Schedule 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's up there with heroin. Like, heroin, you see what heroin does to people in the streets. I'm not sure if you live in any type of inner city, but you see what H does in the streets. You see how people react to that. Compared to marijuana users. Marijuana users are functional. They're not going out there to rob somebody to get they fix, or if that's what you want to call it. I don't even consider marijuana a drug, if we're being honest with you. I think it's as basic as tobacco. It's as basic as Tylenol, Advil. But of course, it took them a while because that was their way of, keeping the black community at bay. If you can arrest them, send them to jail for 20 years, 10, 15 years, whatever it is, for possession of marijuana, then why wouldn't you keep doing it? So imagine if you on your second strike and then now you get stopped for marijuana, they charge you a felony charge for it. Now you're getting booked. So big shout out to all the district attorneys across the country. Big shout out to the AG, Merrick Garland, for, pushing this to the forefront. I realize it's an election year, so they trying to get that young vote. So I realize it's probably just a governmental ploy, like political ploy. Is it really going to happen? It has to happen. 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to happen before the elections take place this year in November. So with that being said, like I said, it's just, you guys don't got to worry about going to jail no more for smoking marijuana. You know what I'm saying? Which is moving on. We're going to talk about these pro-Palestine protests that's been happening all over the country at different universities. The list of universities I have with me right here is University of Michigan, UCLA, Northwestern University, Brown University, Arizona State University, Ohio State University, UNC at Chapel Hill, Yale, University of Minnesota, NYU, University of Pennsylvania, City College of New York, Emory University. These campuses have been staging pro-Palestine protests. I stayed up one night watching one of the pro-Palestine protests on YouTube for hours the other day. I watched as the police came in there and tried to get those kids gone, and those kids didn't go anywhere. They actually pushed back, and the police backed up. They retreated. They was like, okay, we don't want this smoke. And then around 3 a.m, local time out here in Los Angeles, so it was about 6 o'clock in the East Coast. They went in there with gas, pepper spray guns, flashlight guns, loud music, everything to try and get them out of here. And of course, the students were afraid, so the students gave up. They gave up their encampment, and it was foul. The real foul part about it was, I'm not sure if you guys seen the videos, but there was videos posted all over the place. I don't want to play them on here, but at the UCLA protests, you had tons of people, counter protesters, mostly pro-Israel protesters. They came out and they were actually physically abusing the pro-Palestine people. They were beating them up with sticks, trying to rip up their encampment, yelling, shoving, throwing fireworks in there, and the police did absolutely nothing. The police did absolutely nothing at all. And then the next day, they had the nerve to come in there, 100 deep, California Highway Patrol, Los Angeles Police Department, the UCLA, cops on campus. It was just retarded. It was disrespectful. It was wrong. 110%. It was wrong. Those are students. Those are kids. Regardless if you had some people who stood with them in solidarity that weren't students, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, those were students. Those were kids. They were fighting for what they believed in. That's been going on since as long as I can remember. I've watched videos of during the Vietnam War when people were sitting at Stanford, at Berkeley. Like, that's where protests happen. The students' voice, the youth voice is important because the youth are going to be the ones who run this world in a couple years. So I appreciate the youth coming out here doing what they had to do, standing up for what they believe is right. And I stand with them 100%. I don't hate Israel. I don't hate Israelites. I'm not anti-Semitic, none of that. I'm all about peace. And what's going on over in Gaza is totally wrong. And I stand against them stopping. It should be a ceasefire. It should have been a ceasefire months ago, but here we are. You know what I'm saying? Here we are. So big shout out to all those kids from all those different campuses who stood up, who faced arrest, who faced abuse in order to get their voice heard. So big shout out to them. Big shout out to them. With that being said, we're going to move on. We're going to get into our next topic. And our next topic is a little bit more light. And I'm going to enjoy this one a lot. This is our sports segment for the love of the game. Let's go Knicks. Go New York. Go New York. Go. Let's go Knicks. All right. Let's change this overlay up a little bit. All right. So the Knicks advance to the East semifinals with the Game 6 win over the Sixers. Now, I'm an Embiid fan, so I'm not going to say FMB right here on the stream, but fuck Embiid. That's all I'm going to say. Big shout out to my Knicks. Big shout out to Jalen Brunson. Now, Jalen Brunson had a horrible first 2 games, but the man averaged 35 and 9 over the series. That tells you a lot. Over the last 4 games, he almost averaged 40 points, bro. 40 points, 10 assists. Closeout game, 40-point game, 41-point game, 10 assists. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Knicks are real. The Knicks are for real. You guys might not like my Knicks. You might not like New York, but the Knicks are for real. Everybody been talking about my Knicks for years. Everybody been talking about my Knicks, saying we're never going to be good. We're never going to win a championship. This is the year we might have an opportunity. We can win the East. We can win the East. We already took out Philadelphia. That's who I was honestly worried about. Milwaukee's already gone. Another team I was worried about. There's only one team left that I'm worried about in the East, and that is the Boston Celtics. But every team in the NBA should be worried about the Boston Celtics. But the Knicks, we don't even have our all-star power forward, Julius Randle, and we're winning. The greatest thing about this series, though, I mean, big shout out to the Philadelphia 76ers because 1 point separated the series. The series was literally won by 1 point. The games were so close that 1 point is the difference between the total amount of points Philadelphia scored in the series and the total amount of points that the Knicks, we scored in the series. We out-rebounded them crazy, though. We didn't even shoot the best. You know what I'm saying? But we out-rebounded them. We outworked them. We out-hustled them, out-efforted them. So the Knicks are moving on. Big shout out to Josh Hart, though. Heart of the city. Dagger 3 to win. Everybody's like, oh, leave him open. Josh Hart ain't gonna make those. Josh Hart showed up this series. Big shout out to Josh Hart. Big shout out to Dante DiVincenzo. I'm never gonna be able to say his name, bro. Never gonna say his name right. But yeah, big shout out to him. But my Knicks is moving on. I don't know how many Laker fans is watching this stream right now, but you guys ain't going nowhere. Tell me how Cancun feels, baby. Tell me how Cancun feels. And I'm just saying, it's real life. We used to go to Cancun every summer, but we have locked our we're not going that way no more. Not for a little while. The Knicks are for real. The Knicks are coming back. With that being said, I think that's the end of our stream for today. I'd like to thank all y'all for tuning in and listening to my nonsense and my BS. I will be back maybe tomorrow, maybe Sunday, maybe Monday. Who knows when I come back? Maybe something happens. If Drake responds, I'm not going to lie to you. If Drake responds tonight, I'll be back tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow. With that being said, I appreciate you guys tuning into the Prez Remo show right here on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I don't know where you're watching it at right now, to be honest with you, but I got one more question before I leave.
What is it? The Braids?
That's all I got to say. Have a good weekend. Have a good night. I'll see you on the flip side. Peace. Get this together. I suck at ending the stream, y'all. So we're gonna do this one more time. Ready? I'm pushing the button now.